The game is coming out in what now? 9 weeks? Well, what's going on, everyone? It's DivaDadd-e back with a brand new video, and today I'm gonna let y'all have it because this is what I think would make 2K23 the best game ever. From a Diva fan's perspective, from a women's wrestling fan perspective, I'm coming from a standpoint where I just want what's best for the game creatively, and I want the game to have a longevity, lots of depth, endless creativity, and I want something that will make me want to play up until literally the day until the next game comes out. So today, we're going to be explicating what can make 2K23 the perfect game after the breath of fresh air that was 2K22. Now let's start with two modes that could potentially extend the game's shelf life past, you know, the window where the game usually outdates itself a couple months after it coming out. My Career and Universe. 2K22's My Career, which was changed to Myrise, was an enormous step up from what was introduced to us in 2K20. Like, that was literally a glorified story mode with horrible ass animation and lighting and very bad jokes about Canadians. We finally got to play out the career of a female superstar starting in NXT and finishing a Hall of Famer. But my dream for this mode is to take it 50 Shades of K further. I'm sure every WWE 2K player romanticizes the My Player modes under other 2K franchises such as NBA 2K. In NBA 2K, we see first-person gameplay where you can take your player and walk around outdoor areas such as shopping plazas and malls, clothing stores, hair and tattoo shops, even fast traveling through subways to get to different areas of the map. I've always wondered what this would look like for 2K games, and being a women's wrestling fan, over the years we've gotten shoot interviews, the introduction of Total Divas, the social media era of wrestling. We've gotten insight on what it takes to be a WWE diva or a female superstar and what these women be going through. In 2K22, the first step into creating your My Player was choosing your background, and I thought this was the coolest feature upon seeing it for the first time. Like, of course all the bad bitches chose the acting personality. As it said, whatever you chose would determine your character's personality, your wrestling ability, and your skill level. I would love for this portion of the creation to be taken a step further, adding brand new backgrounds such as fitness models, influencers, because we have seen the new WWE recruits over the past years with the rerun of NXT 2.0 and what they bring to the table. Like, I can already picture Josie Jane's washed up ass, some diet Ivory conservative Molly Holly technical girlies pressing her girls about their wrestling ability. What do you know about wrestling? You just post pictures of yourself in cheap clothes. Like, I would love to see a cutscene of a girl the minute she decides or gets a contract offer to try out for WWE. If she was an actor, she could be on set and her agent calls her in the middle of doing, you know, actor things. Same instance could be used if she was a model. The next thing I would love to see introduced in My Career is mini games. So imagine finally getting to try out. You got your spot, you got your trial in the company of your dreams, but now you have to do drills. You have to cut promos, you have to do all this shit in order to prove yourself to even be considered being offered a contract. Like, I want Lacey Evans to make fun of my roles, and I'm not talking about the ones on my hips.
Can't hear you! Sammy Guevara, number 35, baby!
He just called you his baby?
Yeah, and I'm not his baby, so I gotta teach him a thing or two, on top of the fact he can't roll.
So now that you get signed to the PC and all that's out of the way, you now have all of Orlando, Florida and the Performance Center at your fingertips to play around and build your character and really start your rise. You can shop by yourself or with other recruits if you like, change your hair up at salons and buy new clothes and gear, you know, all in hopes that creative will finally recognize you and give you new opportunities, because we all know in real life this is what the women be going through.
I tried to change my hair, to change my gimmick, to change my gear, and they were like, no, Tay, don't change. Just keep going. The opportunity is coming, and the opportunity never came.
We also got a fresh look of what the PC has to offer us in 2K22 in the background of some of, you know, the Myrise cutscenes. And I just wish equipment like the treadmill, rowing machines, dumbbells, squat racks, all could be usable with free roaming to level up your character, kind of like how The Sims works when developing new skills. Competing in compounds where you compete against other recruits could also be a minigame feature that you could develop and evolve your character. I also peeped that there's some sports broadcasting in NBA 2K23 as well, and I believe 2K could really utilize their own WWE wrestling media like The Bump, or as well as third-party dirt sheets and wrestling-related social media channels that are constantly reporting, you know, insider information and coverage of your WWE superstar. Think like fictional WWE 2K YouTubers. I want my girl on the verge of getting fired. not trading enough, getting into scandals with the free roaming or social media, changing her look against the boss's wishes, or going into business for herself.
This is the worst way that I possibly could have tried to make it to the main roster. This will never happen again.
I hope not. You'll be gone.
Next, we're going to talk about the infamous Universe mode, first introduced to us in SmackDown vs. Raw 2011, where we got to play out a full WWE programming on a weekly basis with PPVs at the end of every month or whenever you feel like it. The first iteration of this mode gave us cutscenes on top of cutscenes to the point where they got so annoying. Oh my god, that one where the person you're having a rivalry with bought the ticket to the front row. Oh my god, giving Nikki!
What is the WWE Women's Champion Charlotte doing here?
But you know what? It's safe to say that I want that feeling back. 2K22 in the past few games have actually lacked interesting cutscenes and cutscenes altogether. Not to mention, they got rid of the entire promo engine introduced to us in 2K18. They need to bring that back and then some. Borrowing some of the points I made about Myrise, I'm craving actual creative storylines and interesting cutscenes. I want to play out polarizing rivalries that have unexpected twists and turns. WWE TV is unpredictable sometimes, and I want to feel that unpredictability in Universe mode. I want a damage control moment. I want a big superstar return. I want to cut a pipe bombshell on the women's division. The next mode that finally got attention from us women's wrestling fans was 2K20's Showcase mode, highlighting the women's evolution. We got to play through the career highlights of the 4 horsewomen, Charlotte Flair, Bayley, Sasha Banks, and Becky Lynch, starting from their early days in NXT all the way up to the main event at WrestleMania 35. It was quite unfortunate that the state of 2K20 and the entire controversy surrounding it completely overshadowed the first ever all-women showcase mode, so I think it's only fair that we get a second shot at it. Knowing myself and many others, we would love a Divas Championship showcase, but leaning to something more realistic. I would also love a Trish Stratus showcase. Just imagine the matches that would be created and the iconic women's and diva legends we would receive from this mode. Molly Holly, Ivory, Jacqueline, Jazz, Lita, Victoria, and an iconic match I always wanted recreated so bad in a WWE game, Trish Stratus versus Mickie James, WrestleMania 22. How about that retro Mickie? We'll finally get that mini skirt that I've been begging for, which I'll be getting into in the final point of this video. And speaking of final point in the video, Creation Suite and Calm mode. For what feels like centuries now, women's wrestling fans have been begging for these very specific clothing items to be included in the game. Mini skirts. Mini skirts were a staple gear piece in the 2000s and early 2010s from the likes of Mickie James, Christy Hemme, Velvet Sky, and Maria Kanellis. They're cute, like I don't know what else to say. All skirts that have been included in any of the 2K games are all long or like mid-thigh and they don't move. Lacey Evans' skirt was a fresh inclusion, but that shit's so high-waisted, goes all the way up under her boobs and there's like stars and stuff. Like, keep it. More corset and bustier options, please. SmackDown vs. Raw was so good with the selection of lingerie and fetish wear pieces. Bodysuits. The girls love good bodysuits, high cut ones to be exact, with cute cutouts and laces. Boots. I've always wanted these kind of boots and platform boots as well. Another grandpappy of women's wrestling gear pieces that women's wrestling fans have been begging for since the day the fabulous Moolah captured the NWA Women's World title. Fur boots. Melina's legendary, groundbreaking, show-stopping fur boots. These boots have been worn by Melina, Brooke Adams, Tori Wilson, even Cameron, Frankie Monet, or Taya Valkyrie, however you want to call her. I feel like if Miss Frankie Monet stuck around a little longer in the WWE, we could have seen her in 2K22 as DLC, and we would have got the furry boots then. But it's time for our female cause to also wear them. They're so cute. They go with so many cute looks. And like the rise of like Y2K aesthetics and bimbo core, it's like... Hey, editing me here. Are we just supposed to forget that women in the WWE were the front runners of these specific fashion trends when they were in their prime? Like, these girls were on TV every single week sporting all of these looks. Are we just supposed to forget that? We need some LGBT in the creative room selecting what clothing items should be implemented in 2K games. Like I've been saying, like people need to be studying fast fashion websites like Fashion Nova, Shein, Instagram models, TikTok now. Like TikTok is the #1 social media platform where there's just an endless amount of reference material you can get for any creation suite for a video game. Like I remember looking at one of the old Ukes videos of behind the scenes of making of the SmackDown vs. Raw games, and they had magazines referencing different clothing items and hairstyles that they were going to implement into the game.
These aren't photos of WWE superstars, but we use these images as references for our Create a Superstar mode.
We need to bring that back. I don't want to just use past gear pieces that Tom, Dick, and Harry wore. I want fresh, brand new, and current, modern, innovative clothing pieces, hairstyles, accessories, makeup, everything under the sun. You know, Tori Wilson leg warmers would also be appreciated, not attached to any type of, you know, trunks or tights for that matter as well. They could be classified under like a kick pad or something. Now, I was beyond grateful when 2K finally decided to bite the bullet and give us an abundance of brand new hairstyles during the second quarter of this year through monthly patch updates. Original wigs! We have literally been stuck with these 3 wigs since 2K16 in rotation when we wanted any kind of long hairstyles, and there has been minimal updates to the selection of hair until now. So getting all of these new hairstyles felt like Christmas. Don't stop this, 2K. Keep it coming. Now, as much as I appreciate the hairstyles of the in-game girls being ported over to us to use in the creation suite, I would also love, you know, an abundance of unique hairstyles, especially black ones. Come on now. We need braids of all types, cornrows, new locks, styled fros, just more curly and texture options. Naomi's hair was a legendary audition. Like everyone remembered where they were when they found out Naomi's hair was added to Creation Suite. Speaking of hair, I truly miss how we could edit the length of any hairstyle during the THQ era. This could be a feature that could give a lot of existing hairstyles new life and give us variety without even really trying. The hair dye tool was revolutionary. We finally got to give our creations a more unique feel and give us a lot more creative control when it came to hairstyles. Women's wrestling creators love to give our girls a good ombre, blending 2 or more multiple hairstyles together, but I wish it was slightly easier because it takes practice and skill to pull off perfectly blended hair dye. Implementing a gradient tool where you can pre-select all the colors you want and then blend them all together and somehow paste it onto a hairstyle would cut creators' time in half. Same with the dyeing roots as well. I wish some of the hairstyles would come pre-textured with depth and shadows and roots. But no, we gotta make it ourselves. Alright, so that sums up some additions that I think could bring 2K23 to the next level. And by all means, 2K23 is coming out in 4 weeks, 9 weeks, I think. Whatever, it's coming out in March. So if it's too late, hopefully these ideas will be implemented into the next game, 2K24. Overall, I'm excited to see what the new game has to offer us. I'm always optimistic about the new WWE game until I'm proven otherwise. Always have optimism, always have hope for the best game. I want a game where the $130 that I will be spending on the deluxe version will be worth the while. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to keep up with me elsewhere, make sure to follow me on Twitter at DivaDadd-e. That's where I post my creation content. That's where I live tweet wrestling shows. That's where I talk my shit. So follow me on there. Don't forget to leave a like. Subscribe for more W2K23 news and 2K22 attire updates videos. Also, leave a comment below what you want to see in 2K23 and what you would think would bring this franchise game, whatever, to the next level. Drop some ideas in the comments below. Let's talk. Let's talk. All right, DivaDadd-e. Ouch. Ow, my elbow.